Shalom. I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wahara Kodash, double honors the apostles, and elders of great millstone of real well. Peace and blessings to the Akimoni will push us to the four corners of the earth, right? Already in this article, these people were set up part two, right? Because I did a video before showing how, certain people were put in place to do certain things. These things are not by coincidence, right? And this article here is also a perfect example of that. It say Elon Musk Starlink could soon tap into 42 billion federal program, right? And the whole concept with the brain chip, with all these self-driving vehicles, all these different things you're seeing happening, even with this internet, right? It's not a coincidence that this individual was just happened to be, and just happened to be in this position and just happened to be making all these things that fits perfectly into this system that is being put in place, right? None of these things are coincidence, right? Because we know that when it comes to the MOTB system, global tracking is something necessary, and he just happened to be making technology to suit that category. Automated stuff like self-driving and so forth. All these different things that he has his hands in just coincidentally happens to be a part of the design of the MOTB system, including that brain chip. Because we know that brain chip, according to prophecy, plays a very, very big role, right? And none of these things are coincidence, right? It's in New York, CNN. It said the Commerce Department has changed its rules in a way that could open the door for Starlink, Elon Musk satellite internet service, right? So he happened to be a member of parliament and a businessman, and the products that he happens to have his hand in just happens to be products that the government itself is going to utilize and incorporate into the system that they are trying to build this infrastructure to be able to control, right? That makes no sense. For that to all be a coincidence, that makes no sense, right? It's the Elon Musk satellite internet service. It's set to become part of a federal 42 billion grant program to bring high-speed service to rural and poor areas of the United States. And we know they're not interested in people in remote places of the world. They're not doing this for people to be able to access Facebook. It is not for that purpose, right? It's not so that, all right, these people on these remote islands, they should be able to know what Instagram is like. This is not the reason why they do these things, right? They want to be able to keep track of these people, right? This is how they connect with people in remote areas, right? They'll try to make it look like if they want you to be connected to them, but really and truly is they want to be connected to you, because that's how you keep track of your cattle, right? And so the rules of the program, it's known as broadband equity, access and development, or BEAD, right? It's previously gave preference to fiber optic service that essentially shut out services like Starlink, a unit of Musk SpaceX company. It's which beams high-speed internet access through a satellite. It's in low Earth orbit to terminal. It's a low Earth orbit to terminals on the ground. Right? It's the Commerce Department, which oversees the program, announced Wednesday that BEAD is now open to all forms of internet connectivity. Because fiber optics is a cable, and cabling could only go so far. When you had to reach somebody on a whole other island, For you to run a fiber optics cable from one island to the next island, that is not really an easy feat, right? But with satellite internet, you know, it could more or less beam signals directly to the device, which they also show that he was working on being able to to connect directly to phones. All that, remember these satellites, right? This particular technology, you have to be able to beam in, zoom in, connect to every chip that is going to be wherever it's going to be. And not just that, but other things too. You understand? Not just that in terms of people, but also terms of transporting commerce, things of that nature. The department is ripping out the Biden administration's pointless requirements. Why pointless? Why? Because it interferes with what they want. Said a statement from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. They say it is revamping the BEAD program to take a tech-neutral approach that is rigorously driven by outcome, so states can provide internet access at the lowest cost. And he would now be the answer for this, because you shoot a satellite up in the air, you have an antenna on the ground, wow, you get internet. And that is really and truly how it going and go, right? So he going to be the answer for these problems of connections in remote areas and blah blah blah. You see, Lutchman did not specifically mention plans to grant funds under the program to Starlink or any other satellite service, but the tech neutral reference point in that direction. And that's why he's also in who is going to get the option. If somebody's in politics and they have the technology that is convenient and quote unquote efficient, it's obvious the contract will go to them. A $42 billion contract, right? Which also goes into what we just talked about. When it comes to these rich people, the game is rigged because they allocate money to themselves, right? It's not necessarily like they don't have other people that have internet services that may be just as good, if not better, than Starlink, but they allocate money to themselves, and they do it through these legislations and these contracts. They say he complained that BEAD, created by Congress in 2021, has yet to connect any homes to the internet. They said the Biden administration announced in September that it had distributed $20 billion so far to states and territories under the program, but it did not claim any homes had yet been connected. So now the answer going to be what? Starlink, which Musk just happens to be the head of, who also just happens to be a member of parliament, right? And that's to show you that these people, they are part of this. All of these people are this whole game is rigged. All these people you see, and they always try to paint the image as though these people just happen to become rich, and Musk was poor, and he just happened to get into billions. All of this is just rubbish that they just keep pushing to make people think that, hey, you could just work hard and become like these people. That is bullshit. These people were set up in the places that they are. They were put there and they are maintained there. You understand? Or you don't see none of these really, like you'll see rappers go broke. Right? You'll see rappers go broke. You'll see like these actors and the little riffraffs. They go broke after all of you ever see any of these billionaires going broke? You don't. Because they set up in those places and they have people maintaining their wealth. Them is not the one sitting on being a calculator, and they have people maintaining this wealth. You understand? And they are more or less the front men. Because why? It's a lineage. Right? And they maintain the wealth within that lineage. Obviously, a lot of these people is be related. When you look at all of their families were wealthy, and they go into wealth too. And when they make offspring, the offspring also go into wealth. Even though they like to paint a different picture, all of these people that's usually be connected in some way, one taking over from the next and building on that wealth. I'll read a little bit more into it. It said last week, Musk said in a post on his social media platform X that Verizon, which has a $2 billion 15-year contract to upgrade the system's communications infrastructure, was putting airline passengers at risk because of problems with the current system. They say he suggested Starlink could do a better job, obviously, right? And even if that wasn't the case, right now the Tesla trucks and them, they're giving problems with the software. The trucks is garbage. You understand? The put the chip in somebody's brain, it was causing problems, and next company had to come and, you understand what I'm saying? But to the end of the day, he's the man that they choose, so he's the one that's going to get the contract. And any smoothing out or rectifying that it has in the particular systems that he forefronts, it will have somebody behind the scenes to fix it, not him. Because he's not the genius. He's just the descendant who taking the credit and reaping the rewards, like all them Edomites. When you look at all the best inventions in the world, often is a Jake, and some Edomite pattern it and live off of it and reap the real benefits, including the name, or the rights, so to speak, because that's what they do. They covet fields and take it by violence, and houses, and take them away. They just take shit. Why? Because there's the power in their hands. You see, despite Musk's initial claim about Verizon running the current system, which he later retracted, the FAA's current communications infrastructure is still relying on a decades-old copper wire system overseas by L3Harris, and is not yet using Verizon equipment. They said the FAA said it was testing multiple communication technologies and had not decided which system to use, even though it had already awarded Verizon the $2 billion contract. So this is how these people work. They set people up and they pass on their money to themselves. That's how a lot of these people get rich and stay rich, because they are in the loop. You understand? It have a lot of different talented singers out here, but one who in the boule, so to speak, they will put him to be able to perform and pay him when they could choose somebody much better, but they would choose the one who down for the cause, or who is a part of the little circle. This is how they do things. And that is all Musk is. Musk is just a part of the circle, just like Trump and all these other people, who put in certain places to be the forefront or the face to be able to initiate certain things, and always trying to put themselves across like if they're so clever, and whatever the case may be. If it wasn't for these people's backings, they wouldn't be shit. They wouldn't, right? They wouldn't be shit. A lot of them not smart at all, including Musk. That's not a precept. Yeah. It's Psalms 58. I'll start from verse 2. Right? It say, yea, in heart you work wickedness. It say, ye It say you weigh the violence in your hands in the earth. It said the wicked are estrayed from the womb. It say they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And what some people don't understand is that these people were set up to be the wicked. It's not a coincidence, like how they like to teach in Christianity that they just happen to gravitate. No. You understand? There's some people script, like how it say in Jeremiah, say from the womb I have ordained thee to be a prophet unto the nations. It's paraphrasing. It has some people that were set up to be righteous. And it has some people that were set up to be wicked. Right? So you see what an unjust balance is abomination with the Lord. Right? He created all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. And that is what these men were set up for. These men were set up to be the wicked and also to be in the positions that they are to put this system in place. Right? It say their poison is like the poison of a serpent. It say they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth the air. And it have nothing that go and stop them. That drive that they have, the scriptures say, well, the devil will come down with great wrath because you know that he have but a short time. That drive that they have to see this infrastructure through, that drive is being put in them by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because this thing has to come to pass. That is why they're moving so diligently in what it is they're doing. Yeah, they're using the legislations and certain things to help put it into place. But ultimately, their goal is to enslave everyone. And that is what's being put in their hearts to be able to fulfill that prophecy. That small nor great, rich or poor, free or bond, would not be able to buy or sell unless they have that mark. Right? So all these men that you see in these positions happen to get these contracts and doing all these technological advancements that just happen to be a part of this whole blockchain system and this infrastructure being built is not a coincidence, right? That is what these people were put here for. Anyway, I hope I was edifying. With that, I say shalom.